Mm.
I didn't know they changed the game day morning time because there's no 1 o'clock game today, and I turned on NFL Network right before you got in, and I found out it's the fucking replay of last night's game, and it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. It's like, oh, great. Thanks. You'd be better off showing me a game from 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Miami can't play in cold weather, and
Yeah.
I,
They're not a physical team. Speed doesn't work in the cold.
and when you play in a division with the Bills and the Jets and the Patriots, who all play outdoors in cold weather, I don't know how you're ever going to win the title.
Yeah.
Like Colin said, they've got a real problem coming up because I know a lot of Dolphins fans aren't blaming Tua and want Tua back, but
It's worth looking at. It's worth
you
looking at.
only yeah, they only got next year left, so I mean, ride out the last year, and it's time to move on after that.
Yeah, it's I don't kind of like the Prince
Hi,
there.
Buggy.
Trevor Lawrence. I'm not quite convinced I should be paying them top dollar.
I actually don't think Trevor Lawrence is a franchise quarterback anymore.
Not right now. Not the way he's playing.
Yep. I mean, we'll see what he looks like next year. Maybe he played through injuries we don't know about. Like, I'll give him a benefit. One bad year doesn't ruin your career, but he's got to pick it up. I mean, and Ridley's a free agent, and they might not even re-sign that. So I don't even know.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think he fits Dougie P's offense anyway. When you have an RPO style offense in today's era, you have to have the receivers that fit RPO style, which is like the little dudes like Christian Kirk.
Yeah, they don't. They have one of them, maybe, but
yeah,
they're not really like a take it off the top or take it over the top offense. They're a grinded out offense.
Yeah. Which is weird when you have the quarterback who can take it off the top of anybody.
Yeah, he has the arm to do it. He doesn't have the touch to do it.
Yeah. But we'll talk about the Texans and Chiefs games tomorrow because we're going to be live during the – I was going to say good playoff game tomorrow, but they both might suck tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, did you get my message, by the way, about the remember the conversation we had about the teams playing in domes and all the teams building domes now?
Yeah.
I think we had it last year when we were talking and you're like, "Well, I like the weather. I'm Green Bay." And I'm like, "Well, I don't think the NFL likes changing their schedule in the playoffs."
Oh. Buffalo's its own element. It's a weird ass. I mean, that is
the amount of snow they got.
Yeah, I mean, at first I was kind of like, you really didn't need to change it if it's just snow the day before. But then when I saw the storm, like actually got to see the storm there, I was like, yeah, there's no fucking way anybody could get to the goddamn game.
And even if you were there, you can't see the field from the stands.
Well, I sent you an Instagram message. My toxic trait is wanting to see people play in this weather. But no, yeah, we'll talk about the weather thing in depth tomorrow because I have a lot of opinions on it. I don't know. The dome wouldn't have changed anything because they had travel restrictions. You weren't even allowed to drive and travel yesterday in the city.
Yeah, they actually shut down the roads.
Yeah, so I mean, nothing really would have changed in that situation. But I like I said, I don't support going to a dome. But if a team does it, go ahead. Lambeau will never do it. It will always be. It's kind of like Fenway Park and Wrigley. They're just always going to be the way they are. But, you know, I could easily see the Bills one day when I don't know, they just gave Highmark a 10-year lease. But
okay,
last year. So they got 9 years left on it. So they might stick with that. And then after those 9 years are up, you could easily see them transition to a dome. I mean, we've already talked about the Bears possibly going to a dome if they actually do move. I haven't heard anything further about them moving since the offseason.
Yeah, that's they were trying to buy that old what was it, a horse racing track?
Yeah, up in north outside of Chicago. But yeah. And they were going to turn it into like a big complex where they had all the buildings and all this other crap, and turn it into a dome. But I haven't heard anything since the off season, so who knows? But we'll talk about it in depth tomorrow. I mean, I understand the case for it. I just do enjoy some weather games. Football was created outside. I don't know. It's like baseball. I don't want all the baseball stadiums to have domes. I do support teams like Texas having them because they get those real bad summer storms, and they would have a lot of rained out games if they didn't have domes because baseball's, the only sport in America where you can't play in the rain. But I get it. But
Arlington Heights, by the way, that's what it was called.
All right, there you go.
They closed on it this year, but there's no plan yet. They might still build next to the old stadium.
I don't even know where. Soldier Field's like in a. I have no idea. It's in a real rough, weird area to try and build around.
They can do what Arizona does and go play in front of 5,000 people at a college stadium for,
Go play at Northwestern Stadium.
Oh, God. Could you imagine a football team doing that? The NFL would just be like, get out.
Yep, 100%. With how much money they're making. Peacock was the most downloaded app in the country yesterday.
That was one of the good memes of last night, was like a dude on a phone, and he's just like this, and it's like me trying to tell my parents how to download Peacock. But that's exactly what they wanted, and they knew what they were doing by putting the Kelsey Swift game there.
Yep. That's why they paid $110 million for it.
Yeah, they probably made that last night. Easy.
Oh, easily. Especially because the weather element added so much to it. Like everybody talking about all the freezing drinks and all the other crazy things in the stadium that were going on with the freaking temperatures.
Oh, when they pull the water out, it just starts freezing immediately.
Yeah. And that made the normal person even want to watch it even more.
I think my favorite meme of last night was the one kind of like the beginning of Skyrim. It's like the traveler's eyes blinking. And it goes, imagine you're at this game, and the last thing before you die of hypothermia that you see is McCole Hardman dropping a crucial third down pass, and then you die.
We'll talk about it tomorrow, but man, those Dolphins, I said they were going to get blown out.
2 more yards than Rashee Rice in the first half.
Yeah. I said they were going to get blown out. I didn't expect it to be that bad. I thought
that was
at
brutal.
least compete for a little bit, but they didn't compete at all. But anyway, for those who didn't see or hear us on Monday, I took the Texans and Chiefs. Doc took the Browns and Chiefs.
I had to. I made a bold prediction that Joe Flacco was going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Instead, he's going back home, and he will not be back.
Well, he's going to a different bowl. It's a toilet bowl. The Cleveland Browns,
So we got to pick 4 more games. We'll pick the game that was supposed to be at 1:00 today. That is moved to tomorrow first. I honestly have yet to understand why everyone's saying Steelers fans are whining and complaining, saying the moving the day back helps the Bills. I don't know what it helps the Bills with. I don't understand how that. Your mic went weird.
Good now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good. I don't know why. I just don't understand how they're saying that, because the NFL already said they're not changing the date next week. So the winner of this game plays on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, no, if the Bills win, they play Saturday. If the Steelers actually upset them, the Ravens game is on Sunday. But if the Bills win, they play the Chiefs on Saturday. So they get one less day.
Yeah, it doesn't help them at all.
Yeah. But
like who are they going to get in a day that they weren't going to have yesterday?
Like Gabe Davis, but I think he's still out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Steelers already making excuses.
You're a 10-point dog for a reason. Just accept it and shut your mouth. Like you don't have Watt, you have no shot. As you can tell, my pick is the Bills. If they had Watt, I think this actually could be a really close game. The Steelers could win, but right now you only have the one pass rusher, and we've seen how Alex is without Watt.
Yeah, Highsmith is, moving up the board quite quickly if Watt's in the game, but when he's solo, he's not beating double teams like Watt.
Yeah. And
I think Josh Allen's probably good for at least one bad pick, right?
Yeah.
But do you think he's throwing 2 pick sixes and a third, fourth INT? Probably not. Yeah, I if the weather is still dicey, I think it's a close game
Yeah,
because
because
it's going to be all
run the
running
ball.
with those two teams.
Yeah, Pittsburgh can run the ball.
But if the weather clears up enough for Josh Allen to just kind of ball out, I don't think the Steelers have a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a puncher's chance, right? Like,
yeah,
Josh Allen could throw four interceptions. Like, we've seen it.
yeah.
But God, without TJ Watt, which is so brutal. And honestly, they're probably the one team in the playoffs, maybe one other team where you just look at them and go, they're not really a playoff team. They just kind of got there.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't have to call out the Eagles like that.
Wow. How'd you read my mind?
Twins. It's like that weird thing. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to check the weather in Buffalo tomorrow. It's snowing here. It wasn't supposed to, but I'm happy as fuck.
It's windy here, but it's sunny.
So they still have a winter storm warning. Tomorrow during the day, they're still supposed to get up to 3 inches of snow in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
So it will still be snowy. So it could be a good game. Could be a lot closer than we think. But I feel like the better defense is still the Bills. I feel like the better unit is still the Bills. I would love to see Mason Rudolph pull this off just because it would be kind of hilarious to show that they've been playing with the wrong quarterback for most of the season. And I think Ravens fans around the world would start to shit their pants because that 1-7 record against the Steelers has to come to reality if the Steelers win.
Not even upset, I'm fully. Well, so are we. So,
like I said on Monday, I already had the Bucks written down on Monday last week during our show.
No AJ Brown. I mean, I can see I've been saying this for weeks, and it just fucking doesn't happen. But I can see them bouncing, but at the same time, they just don't do it. Like, they have the potential to do it, but they just don't do it.
That's what I said to Boogie. Like, they have so much potential and they have the roster. They could easily come back out of nowhere and be a Super Bowl contender. But the problem is...
I was going to say, I hate to beat a dead horse, but their fucking play calling is atrocious.
Yeah, both sides of the coaching staff are fucking terrible. The offense looks terrible. The defense looks terrible. I don't even know how.
It's just stale. And look at the coaches that moved on from them and what they're doing.
And the funny thing is, Carolina called the Eagles to interview the Eagles offensive coordinator as a head coach.
They should probably let him go.
I would. I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, have him.
Here, thanks. Bye. Hey, you want Patricia too? 2 for 1 deal.
DC.
Listen, we'll throw a drink at a guy and we'll pay your fine.
Like, I couldn't believe that they called. But anyway, Bills. I gotta take the Bills. You taking the Bills?
Oh hell yeah!
All right. All right. So the first game today, 4:30 Eastern time in the good old Dome of Dallas, in Jerry World. The Cowboys host the Green Bay Packers. I kind of keep trying to find a hope. Like I said yesterday, I was talking about it yesterday with Mike. There's a small chance Green Bay can pull this off. I'm so tired of hearing Packers fan go, we're 9-1 in the last 10 games against the Cowboys. I'm like, yeah, with Aaron fucking Rodgers. Like, it's a different situation now. But I got to go Cowboys. There's a chance the Packers can win this game. If the defense plays hard and the offense can use Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon well, if A.J. Dillon's even playing. I don't know. He missed last week with a neck injury, so those aren't something you normally fuck around with. But even as a Packers fan, I got to just admit, I think the Cowboys are the better team this year. We've seen Dak's numbers in the postseason. They're not great. Yeah, A.J. Dillon is considered doubtful. But I don't know if he's ever had CeeDee Lamb look this good in his career either. So I just got to go with the Cowboys. I hate it, but got to do it.
Well, I'm going to stick to my rootinest, tootinest guns over here. and say that the Cowboys with their 1 star get bounced immediately. Give me the Pack.
Jesus.
Okay, everybody. Okay, listen. They might have the number 1 offense in the NFL currently, and they might have the 5th overall defense. And everybody's like, oh, they're great at home and they're terrible on the road. Who have they beat at home?
The Eagles in Detroit.
Yeah. That's it. What other quarterbacks? Bailey Zappi, Sam Howell, the kid in Carolina that can't throw a football.
That was on the road.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they beat the Giants.
Tommy DeVito with 86 passing yards.
They should have lost to the Lions, to be honest.
Yeah, bad ref. Made a mistake.
So yeah, they're great. They're great at home against also bad teams, and they're bad on the road. They're a farce. Well, they're a 1-star team.
And Zach Wilson. Can't forget about that.
Was it the first, second, or third time he was benched?
It was the first game without Rodgers. It was the very second week of the season. And
they lost to the Cardinals, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Bills, the Dolphins.
Michael Irvin and Kurt Warner are wearing the exact same sports coat, and I'm confuzzled. Anyway, no, I don't know. I just, as a Packers fan, I'm terrified to believe in them because then I'll get my hopes down. So I'm just gonna roll with the team at least that I know is the 2 seed.
Yeah, you're pulling the double whammy. If they win, you win, and if they lose, you win.
Yeah, I'm just really trying not to get my hopes up. I had my hopes so high on the Texans yesterday, and I was nervous in the first half, and then it got out of hand, and I was like, oh, thank God. Thankfully, I won't have my hopes that high unless we go up 10-0. Then I'm going to be like, we're going to fucking win this game, and then if we blow it, I'll be like,
Dylan and I were texting, and I go, if they can get the 14-17, they'll be all right. It'll be cruise control from there on out. I said, I don't want them to get conservative at that point, but I need them to just get to that point. And then it was just like, an avalanche downhill.
Yeah. CJ just looks so fucking he's just so good.
I sent you the text when he was on McAfee. With McAfee, he's like, we're dumb enough to not know we're supposed to be here. Like, he literally said that.
I said to my dad argued me yesterday, but I said it and I still stand by it to this morning. After yesterday's performance and his touchdown to interception ratio, the amount of passing yards he accumulated.
Dude, he was 1 dropped pass away from 4 touchdowns, 300 yards in the first half.
He might be the best. I stand by it. He might be the best quarterback in the NFL.
I literally said 10, and I probably should have said 5 at. I'd give it a little more time because it's his first year. But I mean, the poise he's showing, great. They're only going to get better. Like I said, they beat Cleveland, so they improved the pick they got from Cleveland.
Yeah.
And D'Amico Ryans, I just hope they keep that offensive coordinator because it's working.
Tommy Slowick's got to stay. But he's doing it with guys who
nobody's.
Oh my God. NFL Network's making fun of them themselves. They all took the Browns yesterday.
To be honest, I should have picked Houston, but I picked the Browns based on the fact that I took the Flacco, bold prediction.
Yeah, no, I understand why you did it.
I would not want to play Houston.
It would be really funny though if Mike McCarthy gets fired because of the Packers coming into Dallas and bouncing his team.
Dude, somebody was saying how good this would be. You put Bill Belichick, who's like the most stoic, non-talking coach, in Dallas with Jerry Jones, the most talkative owner, who's doing 3-4 shows a week, and you're just trying to get right information, and they're just giving you the wrong signals.
Somebody predicted that he actually goes to the Cowboys to replace McCarthy if they lose today.
And the other big one is the Eagles.
I think Nick Sirianni's job is gone 100%
if they lose for sure. I mean, you can't, dude. The play calling is just like I don't know football well when it comes to plays, and I can look at what they run and be like, this is a fucking kindergartner's offense.
And the absolute just collapse down the stretch. And like I said, I've said this before, but when you're a good coach, like when you saw last year, everyone's like, oh, he's really actually proven he's a great coach, right? Because of the way he played last year, or the way the Eagles played last year. But he loses the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator. And all of a sudden, the Eagles' offense and defense look like they're in shambles. He's lost the locker room. He's got A.J. Brown pulling his best Antonio Brown impersonations. Maybe Le'Veon Bell. Maybe a little closer to Le'Veon Bell impersonations. But
my favorite thing was Goddard. Was it Goddard who said, basically, since we went 10-1, we were waiting for the playoffs? And it's like, you're gonna
it was Dallas.
Yeah, you're gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah.
Like, if you have that attitude, you're gonna get slaughtered. Like, what are you waiting for? You guys lost to fucking atrocious teams down the stretch. You looked like a, what do you want to call it? Pop Warner football team against the Giants.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. And it's like, you're waiting. Okay, well, now you don't have AJ Brown. AB Jr.,
Yeah. Deron Bland, if Stephon Gilmore. Oh, wait, no, they're playing the Bucks. Carlton Davis is going to have an easy day with Devonta Smith.
Yeah, it's okay because what you got, one rushing threat and one passing threat. You don't have to worry about Jalen Hurts running the ball because he hasn't done that in fucking 10 weeks.
Yeah, and as Nick Wright, I mean, the one thing that Nick Wright
says, he's hurt.
Oh, he's been hurt. There's no doubt in the world he's been hurt. He's playing through an injury that they're not reporting, and they could lose picks if that ever comes out. But the biggest problem is, as Nick Wright said, the only thing Philly does well right now is one specific play, and it might be banned after this season. And that's the only thing you have as an identity.
Well, now they're also getting called offsides on that quite consistently. So,
yeah, that and Jason might be gone at the end of the season.
Oh, so he's definitely gone. I mean, you might be talking Lane Johnson gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
They said one more round, and if they get bounced in the first round, they ain't coming back.
Yeah, I agree, especially after the way it fell apart, and they're probably going to lose AB in the offseason. I assume they're going to have to trade him. I don't think he wants to stay, unless they get the right coach and he gets happy again. Who knows?
Maybe they should trade him wherever Vrabel goes.
He'll be like, oh, he was pissed that we traded me, so he loves me, so we'll go there. We'll just pick that game since we're on it before we pick the last game of the night. Bucks, Eagles. I'm taking the Bucks.
I can't trust the Eagles. There's obviously a way they can win this game if they're the Eagles of old.
Yeah.
I mean, Baker's banged up too. Depends on what kind of run game the Bucks have, because if you're asking Baker to do it all on his own, I don't. Well, against that secondary, maybe he can.
And Slay's not playing, from my understanding. Or he's questionable. Let me pull it up. Reed Blankenship's questionable. No, Slay is good to go.
Slay's good to go?
Yeah. But, no, I think they're going to run the ball well. The Eagles are letting everybody run against them lately.
And pass. If you
they're 31st against the pass in the league. That's for the whole season. But the last 7 weeks, the Eagles are bottom 5 against the run too. So it's getting out of hand. Jalen Carter starting to look like a rookie. He's starting to make dumb mistakes, and I'm not blaming him. I think it's either the defensive coordinator changes or the defensive line coach isn't doing his job well, because Fletcher Cox has even looked out of position a few times, and that's crazy.
I feel like they almost are one of those teams that's, they don't show it, but they're almost like too arrogant for their own good. Like, oh, we can just rebound at any time. Well, you're 1-5 down the stretch, and you lost to some garbage teams, and the numbers don't lie.
The only team they beat in that 1-5 was the Giants, who they then lost to at home. I mean, in New York. Sorry.
I mean, they got absolutely smoked by the Giants, and they gave up multiple long passes over the top in the process.
Tyrod So Tyrod.
I mean, you're talking. Look who you're going to have to face after Baker, who, by the way, having a good year.
I mean, he's had a better year than people like Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. So yeah.
I mean, it's not far fetched to say the Bucs can easily beat the Eagles. Now, again, it depends on what Eagles team you get. Do you get weeks 1 through 10? Because then I'd take the Eagles. But now, recency bias tells me never to pick you.
Yeah. You need people like Jason to step up in the locker room, like get this team's head right, get it back in, get motivated. These guys have got to find some motivation. Boogie texted me yesterday and said, I just watched Sirianni's interview and he did not seem inspired at all. And I was like, well, that's good. It's real
Maybe
good.
he should give that hurrah speech he gave when he first came into the league.
The worst, literally the worst interview I've ever seen for a new head coach.
I mean, if we look back now, maybe this is who the Eagles are.
That or Adam Gase's, I don't know. One of those were really bad. Those both were real bad. But yeah, I don't know. This is but all right, we'll both take the Bucs. We only got one game left. I know it's going to be a quicker show today, people, but we'll be around all day tomorrow, all night tomorrow, pretty much, because we got to talk all of these games. We're going to talk about the weather thing because it's an important topic. It continues to be a
Andy Reid's mustache.
Yeah, thank God it didn't freeze off. I know that's not possible, people. He made a joke about it. All right. The biggest game of the week, in my opinion. I think anyone would be hard to disagree with this.
Most interesting game of the week.
Yeah, and I think it's going to have the most I think this is the most likely to not be able to be a blowout on either side. I think both teams are going to compete the whole way. Like Dallas could blow out Packers. The Packers won't blow them out, but the Dallas Cowboys could if they play at like regular season home level. But
I mean, they are 8-0 at home, right?
Yeah. But this is the only game I could see where I have a really hard time imagining either team blowing each other out. But you get Matt Stafford returning to Detroit, where he played most of his career, against the guy who the Rams got to a Super Bowl with, and then after one mediocre season after the Super Bowl said, no, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and traded him to Detroit. And now they get to play against each other. And you got Eminem making a video going, hey, Matt, I was there for you when you won your Super Bowl, and I made a song about you. He goes, let us have this one.
Well, listen, if they have Jack Harlow at the halftime show.
Oh, my God. Hopefully they never do a Super Bowl inside the Detroit Stadium. That was an embarrassing halftime.
What they'll do is they'll just dig up 8 Mile and bring it over and drop it in.
So I know they love to show Taylor. So Em will be at this game. So I'm hoping we get some Eminem swag at this game. Because I fucking love Eminem. And
well, if Eminem's at the game, then the halftime show should be Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Then we get some real drama.
I thought it should be Machine. I can't do it. MGK. Sorry. I know he wants to be called Machine now, but I can't do it. I just can't.
Did Megan Fox call that one, or
I have no idea. He just said that I'm changing my name officially. My music name is now Machine, not MGK.
It's like those guys that go to prison and change their name, thinking their crimes will be just absolved because they changed their name. That's basically what he did.
I was like, how do you take it seriously? Like, who are you going to see this weekend? Oh, going to see Machine play. I'd be like, what? Like who?
Machine Head?
Right, Rage Against the Machine. Like I don't.
Who?
By the way, Rappaport just reported this. The Packers and Jordan Love are expected to sit down and work on an extension this offseason.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, he's in the position now. I don't think he's going to play like Stroud did, but he's kind of in a similar position where it's like he's doing it, like he's all right.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever be top 5, but I think he can be a top 10 quarterback in the league, and I'm okay with that.
Perfect. I mean, but his numbers are good, and he's doing it with rookies. Again, like Stroud, who we say like doesn't have a top end crew, they're doing it and doing it better than Mahomes. Like,
yeah. But all right, so this game is interesting. You got Puka, you got Cup, you got Amon-Ra. I don't know if you have Sam Laporta. I haven't heard anything yet.
I haven't seen that yet either.
I know it's an 8:00 game, but you would probably have a general idea at this point. Considering his injury.
Trending towards playing.
So there you go. Dude's a beast. That's a hyperextended knee. That dude's a freaking monster.
I knew earlier in the week, he said basically, if I can, I'm going to play with a brace so I can't hyperextend it again. But he said he would play if they allowed him.
What a freaking monster. Both teams are actually relatively healthy besides that. So, I mean, the Lions aren't in this defensively, but they don't have a defense as it is. So, what the fuck are they missing?
Could we see like another like 54-53 shootout?
Well, the over-under is 52.5. It's the highest scoring game of the week, according to the over-under.
So no Jets-Patriots here.
Yeah, Browns-Texans was 42 yesterday, and I took
I think the Texans put up 42, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, both defenses have been very suspect to the pass. 20th and 27th against the pass. They're 2nd and 12th against the run. I don't think Kyron Williams is going to be bothered by how good the run defense is in Detroit. He is an absolute freak. And I don't know if the Rams can stop the combination of Gibbs and Montgomery. That is a disgusting combo. Montgomery punches you in the mouth, and then there's a speed rocket out of the backfield to play later.
I feel like this one's really hard to call because they're almost the same team.
No, almost identically. Yeah. Besides, the Rams have 2 receivers instead of 1. That's like the difference. But Laporta kind of makes it so the Lions have a second receiver. So
yeah, and they don't have that receiver, but on their side they have Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
So
Lions
there's there's a little trade off there.
I don't know.
I'm just mad I have to wait for football.
Yeah, a lot of people are real unhappy that no 1:00 game today after that. I thought what you said was a really good idea. Like,
why wouldn't you move the other game?
Yeah, the games are when the playoffs get scheduled, they are always subject to change, as most games are in the season, which people don't realize they can change at any point. But like you said, if you're going to move the Bills Steelers, why not move them to the 8:00 on Monday and move the bad game of the Bucks and Eagles to the 1:00 spot on Sunday?
Like I said, it's not a penalty to do that. You're actually gaining a day for the winning team.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like that one day is going to bring AJ Brown back or, anybody else.
Yeah, he was ruled out on Friday.
So
some Monday game. So.
I understand moving it back, but now you're actually penalizing them.
They
play Saturday.
The Bills will play Saturday. If the Steelers win, they play Sunday, so it doesn't matter. But that and it being a 4:30 game on a Monday.
Yeah, you're not out of there till what, midnight?
Yeah, that I don't know. Like, you're not going to. I know it's Martin Luther King, so you're going to get some people off work, but ratings wise, it's still going to be fairly low for a playoff game because there's a lot of people still working and having to do things during the day on a Monday. So it would have made more sense to make it an 8:00 game and move the other one to Sunday at 1, because no Sunday at 1:00. It's like it doesn't even feel like a football Sunday when you got to wait till 4:30 on a Sunday to watch football.
Yeah, we play video games, so it's kind of different, but
yeah, I mean,
we can occupy our time.
I won't lie. I'm glad I don't have the audio on for this today, because I already knew this show was going to be all about the Cowboys, but
God, it's going to be so heartbreaking when they lose.
I'll love to watch Michael Irvin if they lose. He's worse than Skip nowadays.
I'd love to see it like another, Tony Romo fumbled snap to win the game. Just something the Cowboys are notorious for. America's team. What have you done recently? And even if you beat the Packers, Okay. Oh no, you won your first round playoff game. First time in 30 years. Like,
Yeah,
I just have this feeling that the 1-star logo rating will come to fruition today.
it could. Hell, Brandon Aubrey only missed 2 field goals all season. It was last week. Watch him miss the game-winning field goal.
And had one blocked.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. He missed one and then had the blocked. But or like when Mason Crosby kicked a 58-yarder to beat them a couple years ago in the playoffs in Jerry World. Like, watch Anders Carlson, the rookie kicker, kick a game-winning field goal. Skip Bayless will lose his mind.
And this could be, I know it was not the regular season, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the game where Dak throws interception number 10 on the year.
Yeah, he only threw 9. What a shame.
I know. I had to eat my words on that one. But if they get bounced in the first round of the playoffs to the Packers, well, Mike McCarthy, see you later. Bill Belichick's in.
And it'll be the first time a 7 seed has won a playoff game since the 7 seed got added.
Yeah, I actually almost texted you about that. 2020, the 7 seed has never won. So I'm probably on the wrong side of history here, but I'm going to try and be positive.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me wonder if the 7 seed really should be a thing if it can't win, if it really just keeps getting bounced every time. But
oh, wait. You just said it's never happened and Dallas is playing them? Oh.
Pittsburgh has a slight chance because of the weather to potentially also be the other 7 seed that might win a game.
Yeah, if Dallas loses this game, what are they going to blame? The 180-foot screen hanging above their fast track that they're 8-0 on?
They'll find out. There'll be one bad call in the game, and they'll blame the refs.
Yeah, but they got it back when they were in Detroit.
I know. Yeah, because if they lost that game, they would be. Well, the Eagles lost last week of the season, so I guess they would still be.
They'd still be where they're at because the Eagles sucked that.
Well, they would be the 3 seed though, because the Lions would actually have.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they would have beaten them.
Yeah, so we would have been playing the Lions today, which Amon-Ra said this week on a podcast that the Lions were actually hoping they didn't play the Packers today.
I would. They're again like Houston. They're dumb enough to not know they're supposed to be there.
Right? They're all young. They're just like, fuck this.
That's what I mean. CJ Stroud said it best. He's like, my first year. It's my coach's first year. We don't know what we're doing. Like, just good enough. Like, just go out and ball.
These dumb young receivers are like, I'm supposed to be getting beat by these corners. Like, they're just look good. I don't know what's going on. Like, Bo Melton got cut by the Seahawks after being undrafted, and we signed him off the practice squad. And the dude's been the leading receiver for the past 3 weeks for the Packers. Like, I don't. It's weird to see number 80 though, because I keep thinking Donald Driver immediately. But,
true. I think the one spot, obviously you got to worry about CeeDee Lamb, but if the Packers can slow down, like Pollard hasn't been great, but if they can just kind of delete that from the game, the Cowboys can't run out the clock, and it's only going to be CeeDee Lamb.
That, and if Aaron Jones can have a good game.
Yeah. And I honestly, I know you have this sentiment about him, but I think Mr. I should be defensive player of the year might disappear here.
He could. I wish Bakhtiari was playing. I'd feel a lot more confident of that. But
Would you though?
That little pussy's never going to play a game of football again.
Yeah, they think they're going to unload his contract or he's going to retire, right? He has to.
They said they're going to either ask him to retire or be willing to be traded. So he hasn't played 2.5 seasons.
Yeah, trade him to the Jets. Trade him to the Jets.
He's Deshaun Watson. I want the 19th pick. I'm sorry. I don't really care what pick we get. The thing we need most is corner, and the corners in this draft kind of suck. Kool-Aid McKinstry is the best corner. Actually, you know what? I can't lie.
Probably
the white kid out of Iowa. The white kid out of Iowa
you're right.
The best corner.
The Great White Hope.
But he might actually go to the Packers because it's a very Packer pick. But I don't know. I honestly, I'd rather continue to win.
Did you see the Will Compton tweet about him, by the way?
No.
I was like, if he goes in the first round, it'll be the first time A white cornerback has gone in the first round since 1969, and Will Compton just tweeted out about the all white versus the all black game. He goes, "Help is on the way, boys."
Somebody, when he announced he was going to the draft and people were saying first round, people were like, "Oh, Rashad Mendenhall's real quiet right now," and I was like, "Yeah, I want him," but then switched to boxing. I don't want a safety. I want us to re-sign Jonathan Owens and Darnell Savage. They've been perfectly fine this season. They've played really well.
Yeah,
so
it's like the unit as a whole is failing. It's not really the piece.
it's Joe Barry. He's a fucking idiot. That and our corners. I mean,
if the whole unit isn't good, then it's generally play calling and coaching, you know?
That and our starting corner and our number 2 corner when Jair's been out are both rookies. So, I mean, there's a lot of growing pains.
Yeah, but I mean, Jair takes himself out of games, so.
Jair's already hurt again.
I know. I couldn't believe he rolled his ankle into a high ankle sprain during a jog.
I want to unload him. I love him. He's funny, but I want to unload him. Like, he has a good personality. He's hilarious, but he's taken the money and vanished. You didn't know about that? Yeah, got a high ankle sprain.
He was day to day as of what? Tuesday, Wednesday?
He's questionable as of right now for today's game.
And if that's the case, CeeDee Lamb might have 250 yards.
Well, Jair doesn't play the slot anyway.
That's true. I forget CeeDee is really a slot receiver when you look at it, where he lines up.
It's going to be Keyshawn Nixon, the guy who was the only All-Pro Packer, the kick returner. He's our slot corner, so he'll be against CeeDee Lamb,
who isn't basically far behind Tyreek Hill. Like,
I think he's ahead of Tyreek Hill. I'm not in speed, but in talent, I think he's ahead of Tyreek.
Talent, and then because of his size, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not overtly physical. Like, Tyreek is still strong because of his stature. Like, you bump him on the line, he still goes by you.
So he missed
CeeDee Lamb can win a jump ball and have the skill to keep those toes in bounds.
Yeah.
You know, he can do it multiple ways. Tyreek is really speed.
Yeah. He missed Thursday and Friday's practice. He's deemed officially questionable. And when I clicked on his profile, it doesn't say whether he's trending to playing or not playing. So it seems like it will be a full-on game time decision.
Yeah, he is. From what I could read during the week, it sounds like he's not going to be able to play.
We need him on Cooks because Cooks has been that secret little extra X factor they've had that people don't talk about. Brandon Cooks has had those moments just randomly in games.
Now, I'd like to bring up a little thing here, and this is kind of way off topic, but goes with the injury, right? So like this guy was jogging, rolls an ankle. Obviously, he's getting paid millions of dollars.
Highest paid corner in NFL history.
And he's just not going to play a playoff game. A kid in the national championship for collegiate lacrosse tore his hamstring from his calf, and he had them band his leg to the bottom part of his leg, and he finished the game.
Yeah.
It depends on what you want.
It's like I said about like people like Cody Rhodes. I'm not a big Cody Rhodes fan, but he tore his pec like straight up off his entire pectoral muscle was torn off. His entire chest was black, blue, and red and disgusting to look at. He asked the doctors. They said, "You're not medically cleared." He said, "Can I do any more damage?" They said, "No, it's
I'm going back in.
Off. You have to get surgery." So he goes, "Okay, then I'm going to wrestle in Hell in a Cell, and I'll get surgery afterward." And he did it. He was like, "I can't do any more damage, so what the fuck's the harm?" So he did it. And I'm like, sometimes you guys got to have this like you have the whole off season.
Like I get that you're trying to maximize your money and shit, but like, bro, Kirk Cousins can maximize money. He's probably the best at it.
He is the best. There's no doubt.
So like, just relax. Go play. Sam Laporte is going to play today.
Yeah, exactly. With a hyperextended knee.
You know, like
that ain't easy at all.
Gronk back in the day, like that dude just rolled. He was like, "All right, cast it up." Like,
look at the old legend quarterbacks. Look, even Favre had like taped up fingers because his fingers were broken on his throwing hand. He just had them taped straight so he could grip the ball and throw.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck it, what I got." They're gonna make the money anyways. Like, I get ankles are rough, especially in the NFL, but like, bro, you got a chance in the playoffs and you're not gonna play. Like, even if you go out there, at least try it. If you can't go, you can't go.
Yeah.
I just feel in his spot, he is becoming a liability with the health and wanting that money.
They got Cameron Wolf outside of Orchard Park right now, and it is fucking still blizzard conditions.
It's Buffalo, man. Yeah. All I can tell you is what they should do is just lay gasoline on all the lines and just light it on fire and let them play in the Fire Dome.
WWE style rules.
Yeah, fuck it. Just outer edge of the fucking field is just flames, and they're inside. Let's go.
Be pretty dope.
Dude, every time there's a whistle, they just bring out like a couple fire extinguishers, let a couple players on, let a couple players off, and then they relight it.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Dude, could you imagine? Like, imagine how many people would watch that shit. If it was like safe for them to do that, you'd be like, all right, this is cool. And by the way, we got rid of the snow. You're welcome.
We would never need a dome team again. We could just do that. That worked.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't think Buffalo's going to be going to a dome team, so that's probably their best bet. You guys up in Green Bay might want to do the same thing.
Yeah, they showed the 5 coldest games in NFL history yesterday, and 3 of the 5 on the list were in Green Bay. The other one was Buffalo, and then, of course, the Kansas City game yesterday. And I was like, okay.
Listen, that's not even that bad. Negative 30 wind chill.
Yeah, makes sense. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. I mean, the Ice Bowl was.
I went to work one February. I think it was a couple of years ago. It was negative 26, and the wind chill made it feel like negative 60.
Yeah, so it's that where if you breathe it in, your lungs could freeze if you stay outside for like longer than a minute.
Yeah, you just go outside, get in your car, and go. Like,
yeah,
be like Alaskan Airlines Flight 997. Put your mask on.
I can't believe that thing just blew open a hole and just.
Yeah, our planes are safe. Dude, did you see that guy's iPhone that fell 16,000 feet and wasn't shattered?
Yeah, that case deserves an award.
It's like, okay, all right. Good advertisement. That's free. It's like the Stanley Cup, with the car burning down. I think they might have lit that car on fire, to be honest. People are paying $120 for a mug. I get one free at a Uline every time I order.
All right, so we haven't done this yet. We do have to pick Lions, Rams.
Again, I'm being stubborn. First round playoffs. I'm going and sticking with my guns. I love MCDC, but McVay's the better coach, and they're going to take the top off that defense. Give me the scary, scary Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah. I want to find a way to say the Lions win this game, but I think heartbreak is coming to the city of Detroit.
Listen, they got their banner. Their lonely banner up in the rafters. They got one.
They're only NFC North banner because that other one was like NFC Central.
Did we talk about it last week where they haven't won 12 games 5 times in 90 years? And and San Francisco's done it 5 times in the last 6 years. Yeah. What? Come on now.
Yep. But at the same time, I do want to keep pointing this out to people. The Niners haven't won a Super Bowl since '95, so they are they're up there with the Cowboys.
You know what I've been looking at, and I don't think they're going to win it this year either now? What that offensive line, if Williams takes one shot to a knee, that offensive line is trash.
Yeah.
It's just trash. It's below average. Brock Purdy will go back to being Mr. Irrelevant. There's just no way. And you saw it. You saw it when they lost 3 games this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have him, and it was brutal. If you look at the numbers of their starting linemen,
yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah. Trent is that blindside protection from Trent is everything the Niners need right now. And if McCaffrey's not feeling 100% next week, it could be another rough week for them. Again, we don't know who they play yet because no NFC teams have played. They'll play the lowest remaining seed. So it could be Green Bay, which they destroy Green Bay every time. But if not, it'll be the winner of the – it would be the Rams if we picked it right.
Right. Yeah.
Who I think can actually beat them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, the Rams, they have some big name guys, and they have nobodies, and the big name guys are showing the nobodies how to be big name guys. Like, it's so weird. Like, again, hitting 5th round picks out of nowhere. You literally just got Cooper Kupp 2.0, and we're like, oh, yeah, by the way, that's great. Like, and I'm sorry, but Goff has had games where he just throws the ball away.
Goff has been real rough at times this year.
3-4 turnovers. There was one where he had 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles.
Yeah. He has been real rough at sometimes this year.
Yeah, it is night and day when he's good, when he's on and when he's not. Like, let's say that, right? Like, his bad games are really bad.
Yeah, he's lucky the Rams don't have a true lockdown corner because without Amon-Ra St. Brown, Goff has really been rough this year because a couple of those games that they played bad, Amon-Ra was shut down and he just looked terrible.
Yeah.
But Aaron Donald might be able to slow down that run offense a little bit, so if he does.
I mean, they're you can put 2-3 guys on him. Doesn't mean you're stopping him all the time.
Yeah. You could put a fucking literally the Great Wall of China in front of him, and I'm pretty sure
I watched him get through, and he had 6 hands on him. 6.
Yeah,
he was literally triple teamed, and he still got through. Like, that's nuts, dude.
I say it a lot with him, and I think him, TJ, and Max Crosby are those dudes. You can put as many dudes as you want in front of them, but because of Donald, his pure power and speed burst, and then TJ. He has just this quickness to his step. And then, of course, Max just doesn't stop. You can throw him on the ground. He's going to get up and keep coming. There's just –
it was like that one, what was it? Was it Hamilton who got, like, pancaked, got up, and intercepted the ball? Like,
yeah.
Like, he was just like, all right, cool.
Yeah. They got the – what was that? McCaffrey – because – yeah, the pancake block. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it was. He basically landed on his back.
Yeah, he got the chop block call against McCaffrey because of the hit, and then he just popped up and, like you said, got the interception. So the last 6 games, the Eagles are 1-5. The Bucs are 5-1. Points allowed per game, though, by the Bucs over the last 6 games is only 16 points a game.
I was gonna say, and they only put up 9 on Carolina.
Yeah. But they're only allowing 16 points a game, and the Eagles right now over the last 6 are allowing 30.3 points a game.
And you're going to have to deal with Godwin and Evans. Like,
yeah, and if Rachaad White gets out of the backfield, good luck.
Yeah, if he's running the ball well, there's no shot for Philly. Like, I really believe that. If they can kind of keep that to that, like when they play bad, it's like 65, 70 yards on all his carries.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's become an X factor for them. So,
he's had good games, bad games, but
it's expected to be raining as of right now. Game time forecast in the Eagles-Bucs game.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's everything, guys. We'll we got a lot to talk about because we're going to talk about the Texans game and the Chiefs game tomorrow, and then we're obviously going to talk about everything today and the 4:00 game tomorrow, which should be just about ending when we start. Since we've been live, though, I guess we should cover it real quick. Jerod Mayo, congratulations to the Patriots. They got I think he's going to be a good coach.
And it did come out that it was written in his contract. He was the successor to Bill the whole time.
Yeah. So, that'll be interesting to see Jerod Mayo as coach. I don't know. I mean, he played his entire career, though.
You know what? You know what's going to happen offseason? They're going to call up Tennessee and say, send us Mayo boy.
Somebody actually said that in the Discord. They were like, go get Will Levis. get mayo and mayonnaise together. I was like, okay, Lord.
No, you got to go get like coffee black or something like that. You know what I mean? Because he puts the mayo in the coffee.
No, you got to get Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Ooh,
You got to have Gerard Mayo and Kool-Aid.
dude! Imagine the merch you could sell if you get him. Like, come on. Oh, I did forget to bring up something while we were talking about Dallas. Was 2 crazy stats. Zach Martin, the lineman,
Yeah,
has more Pro Bowl selections in 8 years than he has holding calls against him.
yeah. Notre Dame's best player in all time, in my opinion.
And he's played like 1,200 downs and given up like 1 sack.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, I mean, people say that it's hard for offensive linemen to get into the Hall of Fame. That man,
That man's going in. Like there is, when I saw the numbers, I was like, there is no fucking way. And he's like, yeah, he doesn't get beat ever. Like ever. That's pretty good.
Did they sign Antonio Pierce yet? Do you know?
No, but it was likely. And the Eagles have never reached a Super Bowl in a postseason in which they had to play a road game. So see you later, Philly. Bye.
By the way, this came out yesterday. I want to bring this up because the only signing I think so far is Mayo, with Vrabel gone. I know we didn't talk about it. We'll talk about it more tomorrow when we have more time. But Nick Saban retiring and Pete Carroll being fired.
Okay.
A bunch of other
the Chargers interviewed Steve Wilkes.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I think there obviously there's the Rooney Rule, so you have to get some people in, right?
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna kind of be like, we're not doing the Harbaugh thing, and then it's like, oh, we're paying $150 million for Harbaugh.
Yeah, I really hope they're not going to hire Steve Wilkes as the head coach. They need to get a guy who can open up Justin Herbert in that offense. Nothing against Steve Wilkes. He's a great defensive coordinator.
If you don't get Harbaugh, then I think you make a hard press for Slowick or guy from Detroit there. Drawing a blank.
Ben Johnson, Brian Johnson. I don't know. There's a Johnson in Philly that's offensive coordinator. The other one's a Johnson in Detroit, and I don't know which one's
It's
which.
Ben Johnson,
okay.
The Detroit guy. But I really think they need a guy who's been a head coach, but they also need an offensive guy to really. Or if you're that guy, like say you go after Belichick, you got to get a guy in. Like, could McDaniels do it if he's back under Belichick?
Maybe.
I have heard whispers that if Vrabel was willing, it would be Belichick, McDaniels as the offensive coordinator, and Vrabel as a defensive coordinator as a package.
You guys should just go get Marvin Lewis while you're at it.
I'm just saying. That would be fucking hilarious to see. I don't think Vrabel's going to take, a secondary position. He's just too good. McDaniels will take any position he needs to.
So anyway, really important news about if the Raiders don't sign Antonio Pierce. NBC Sports has reported that if Antonio Pierce is not signed as the Raiders head coach, Max Crosby will be seeking a trade.
Well, he's getting signed then.
He has very publicly said he doesn't want to play for a Raiders coach that is not Antonio Pierce.
All these dudes love him. I mean, you hear it, right? Like you hear it from the players. If you are dumb enough to not sign him at this point, you're going to lose every player in that locker room.
And he turned the team around. They got way better under him.
Now, okay, they got better, and there was a cap there, right? Because they had Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, go get a quarterback.
Like, the guys love him. They played hard for him. I mean, that defense, from what we know of Raiders defenses outside of Max Crosby, was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and then you had Josh Jacobs come out and say, I'll resign. I'll take a team-friendly deal to stay if he's our coach. Devontae Adams said he wants to stay and be with his coach. Like, you go if these guys are all happy, fucking do what makes the team better.
Yeah, but what's going to happen is Mark Davis or whatever Bullcut's name is going to...
Mark Davis.
he's going to do that. He's going to sign Pierce. And then he's going to trade for Zach Wilson.
There's actually a realistically possibility.
I'm just saying, dumber shit has happened, okay?
Or he'll go get Desmond Ridder or some dumb shit.
Well, they're still tied to Jimmy G for one more year, right?
Yeah, rumors are they're looking to get out of that.
really, realistically, you're tied to him for 5 to 8 games.
Just trade him to New England.
Call up the Bunny Ranch in Nevada. Trade him there. He likes porn stars or whatever.
Oh man, him and Zach Wilson together would be a terrible combination off the field.
If I was could you do like what do you want to call it, like a bridge year? Like who are you getting for a bridge? You already have it. Like that's what Jimmy G is. Could you call up like Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, Kirk did say though this week that's the one thing. Like Kirk's a really big name that people aren't. He said this week he will take a team-friendly deal to stay in Minnesota because he wants to play with the Vikings.
You forgot one key piece there. He said, "I'll take a team-friendly deal because I've already made $240 million in my career." He actually said that.
I didn't know that. I just heard team-friendly deal.
And if that's the case, and he takes a team-friendly deal, Raiders should call up anyways and get Nick Mullins because it's better than what you fucking have.
Yeah, I mean, and there's still people like Dalton. There's still options.
Fuck, Joe Flacco might be a bridge quarterback.
Yeah, Bo Nix. I mean, you could draft Bo Nix. He's the most NFL ready. People can say he's not the top draft pick, and he's not, but he's the most NFL ready. He has a lower ceiling, but he's ready.
Now, how does that play with somebody like Pierce? You know what I mean? Player potential wise.
No,
I mean, he's gotten the guys he has to play for him, right?
You're remembering correctly. He was the first player to ever be tagged twice because that rule changed while he was tagged the first time.
He made like 34 million the first year and like 38 million the second year or something like that.
Yeah, he was the first player to ever be tagged twice.
And then after that, he got a fucking $160 million deal.
And then the last year he restructured his contract.
30 million, right?
30 million this year.
Yeah, dead 30, like just straight up. He took straight cash, said it's guaranteed.
Yep.
So, like you said, yeah, I've made enough money in my career, 240 million silently.
Lives in a cheap state like Minnesota, like whatever.
Listen, did you see all that ice he was wearing on that plane? All right, that costs money.
Probably all fake shit.
It's first off, it's not even his, and second, yes, most of it is actually fake. They don't actually pay for it.
I mean, it's not his. It's like when Ryan Fitzpatrick showed up with all that bling on in that press conference, and they were like, yeah, he was like, I took this out of I don't remember whose locker.
I think it was AB's.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was because he had the glasses on and then like the Louis Vuitton jacket, and it was only up to here. He had the chest hair out.
Yeah, he did finesse Washington into gear. I mean,
yeah. So Dan Snyder finessed Washington into guaranteed money too.
You know what? I can't lie though. What they're doing right now, that team is turning around real quick. The new assistant GM, the new actual GM. They're really doing a lot over there in DC. Now they just need to get the right coach.
They're tearing the carpets of Dan Snyder out. They said no more milk stains.
Yeah. Just get the goddamn right coach now. Please, for the love of God, don't get this wrong.
And if you really want to do it right, just change the name just to spite him.
Change the name because the Commanders is a dumb name anyway.
Let the fan base pick it. Because then you'll end up with what happens in Minnesota when you want to name a plow and it says Plowy McPlowface.
All right, before he gets out of here, we're gonna rate
Wait, you've never seen that they name the plows?
No.
The public actually votes on it and they name the plows, and they've come up with some really good names for like the plows. It's hilarious. But like the first one was just like the dumbest name ever, but now they have 240 of them, so.
I did not know that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Stefan Digs You Out is one of them. Blizzard of Oz.
You better dig out the fucking
Dion Snowders.
You better dig out the fucking Bills tomorrow.
Edward Blizzard Hands.
Fans are so creative.
Yeah, they are great. It's it's Minnesota DOT. That's what it is. And it's Name a Snowplow contest. So the top name wins it. Ohio does it, I think. But it's great. And it's also horrible because some of the names are so good. Lord Coldemort.
Lord Coldemort. All right, we're gonna rate Grizzlies playing Hunt Showdown. Show them some love. Enjoy football when it comes on finally at 4:30. I'm sorry you got to wait till 4:30. I don't know. It sucks, but we'll be back tomorrow at
Yeah,
8.
go play
Talk
some
about
video games. Talk shit in a Discord channel you don't belong to or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. Cause havoc,
Yeah. I'm
create
gonna go play
chaos.
Monster Hunter.
It's Sunday. It's the beginning of a new year.
Yes, 1:30 your time. Yeah, enjoy. But we'll see you guys at 8 Eastern time, 5 p.m. tomorrow for Mr. Tesco and anyone else on the Pacific Coast. And we'll have a good time.
And
talking about
if the
everything.
Cowboys lose, I tell you what, I will be.
Make sure you watch Skip.
Yeah, I will be
morning if the Cowboys
downright
lose.
diabolical about it.
Please do. Please
I
do.
will.
All right.
I will be incessant.
It's
I
about
might
to
go.
auto
I
raid.
might go buy a jersey just because they're on clearance.
Love you guys.
I'll call up Skip. Come on. You pawned that yesterday.